Our 2020 census is fast approaching and we need your help. Our region has been undercounted in the past. It is our responsibility to make sure everyone in Hidalgo County is counted.
The money we get from Census 2020 is used for roads, healthcare, schools, drainage, and other vital programs here in Hidalgo County.
It is important that we all be counted, including our children.
Working together with the Census Bureau and the community partners, we can make the Census 2020 count everybody in Hidalgo County.
Gotta make sure that every single person is counted, because if you're counted, more money will come to our area.
The results of the census are used to reapportion the House of Representatives, determining how many seats for each state.
Be a part of the census movement. Tell your family, friends, and neighbors about the importance of being counted in the 2020 census.
Hay que empezar a hablar con su familia y con sus vecinos en que todos contamos en el censo del 2020.
Déjate contar.
En nuestro condado de Hidalgo, unidos contamos.
En este censo 2020, déjate contar.
Tú puedes cambiar la historia.
Unidos contamos.
En este censo 2020, todos contamos.
Let's make Hidalgo County count. United, we count.
United, we count.
United, we count.
United, we count.
Unidos contamos.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Erica Reina. I'm the Assistant Chief of Staff for County Judge Richard Cortez. And here to start our program and do the welcome is Commissioner Fuentes from Precinct 1.
Now I'll take the mic. On behalf of all of Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, we'd like to welcome all of you to this Census 2020 news conference. It is, as you can see through the video and the representation up here in the front, it's going to take a very united effort for all of us to make sure that everybody in Hidalgo County and residing in Hidalgo County is counted. As you can see, we have many representatives from our schools, from our cities. We have city leadership here, and we also have our county representatives. Hand in hand, we're going to go out there and try to make sure that we get all of the necessary counting done so that we can make sure that we are entitled to those funds that we need in order to make sure that we take care of our schools and our infrastructure needs down here. For many years, we've been undercounted. And our whole purpose with this Census 2020 kickoff is to make sure that we encourage everybody to participate in the count that's coming up. It is critical and vital to all the things that we do here and all the services that we provide that everybody take time to fill out these forms. It is important for all of us to make sure that we reach out to our friends, our family, our neighbors, and encourage them and get mobile with this. And that we are all active in making sure that we push for all the things that we need in our area. And that only happens if we get the most accurate count possible. So thank you very much for being here. Media partners, we encourage you to continue to be a part of this program because it's going to be vital that you get that message out on our behalf. We, as representatives up here, are ready to do our part. Please help us in making sure that that message gets out to our communities. Thank you for being here today. God bless you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fuentes, and thank you for being so dedicated to the campaign effort. I'm going to turn it over to our County Judge, Richard Cortez.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to, again, also welcome everybody and thank my colleague here, Judge Veda, coming in from Starr County. It's good to have our neighbor here and all of the elected officials, all of you here for joining us. Hidalgo County is the 7th largest and most populated county in the state of Texas. And we have 254 counties. Unfortunately, statistics show us that 35% of the people that live in Hidalgo County live in poverty. So it's extremely important that we maximize the funds that come to our area from our federal government as well from our state government. We have an opportunity in this census to be counted. And repetition is the mother of all learning. I'm going to repeat some of the things Commissioner Fuentes says as to the importance of the census. We must not fail in this important mission. That is worth repeating. We must not fail in this important message. Traditionally, we're undercounted. So let's talk about that, some of the causes that we believe that has been the reason for undercounting. We think that there's at least 20% of our people that live here, or call them what you like, maybe undocumented workers, undocumented people. So when someone from the outside comes in and wants to count them or wants to identify them and give them a census message, they're concerned with a stranger coming in. So one of the things we want to make sure, and that's why all of you here are so important, that we take care of each other. That whoever goes out there to solicit them to add themselves to the list come from someone they know, someone that they can recognize, someone that is not a threat to them. That's extremely important. We also have to fix this complacency we have. You know, we live in a world, in a country, that we decide who our leaders are. I tell everyone we have good news and bad news for you. The bad news is you're always going to have government that's going to tell you what to do or affect your lives one way or the other. The good news is you get to pick the people that you put in government. So that is extremely important. But the same people that have those freedoms and rights are complacent about really doing their job, even voting. So we don't want to be complacent this year in making sure that we're counted. We want to make sure that we are. Wrong addresses have also been one of the reasons that we don't reach certain people. In the past, there was only one way to be counted, as you fill out a questionnaire. This year, we have more opportunities because you can do it online, you can do it over the phone, and you can do it physically through mail. So we're trying to eliminate some of those things that didn't help us get everybody counted. I'm very proud of Hidalgo County. I'm very proud of the people that work in Hidalgo County. We learned a lot from the last time that we did the census. We took our planning department through their own initiatives, and this is what you call Thailand ganas. Okay. By their own initiative, they said, you know what? We're going to try to identify all the rooftops in the county, and we want to make sure that the addresses that are out there are proper addresses. That process yielded 25,000 new addresses to the list of the census list. What do you mean 25,000 new addresses? If you take an average of 3.6 people per household, that's 90,000 people that might have not been counted but for the work of the planning department. So give them a hip, hip hooray. The other thing that we did is ask all of you here to be partners. You know, one of the ways to take on a humongous task such as this is to divide it among others. To take a large piece, cut it into smaller pieces, fix responsibility, and get it done. One of the things that I did as county judge is I picked my angel, Erica. Where are you again? Okay, she's the one responsible from our offices in the county to help get this done. All of you in your cities, your school districts, whatever organization you're part of, it's important that you get an Erica. Because if you don't fix responsibility, then who's going to be to blame for not getting the job done? And this is way too important, again, for us not to do that. We also created a logo. We have to show pride in ourselves. Hidalgo County, this area, is an area to be proud of. Let's show them what we're made of. Let's show them that we can work together, that we can accomplish great things. The future to me is very bright. But if we're going to make it even brighter, we have to take that 1/3 of people that are in poverty out of poverty. Government has a tremendous burden in caring for those people, and we should. That's what makes our country so great. We care about people. But one of the ways that you can help yourselves here, because we can't afford it to spend all that money ourselves, is to get our fair share from the feds and the state government. And we can do that by being properly counted. So in closing, I want to thank all of our partners, because without you, we couldn't do it. And yes, united we count, unidos contamos. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much, Judge. We are very happy to share that this census we're pursuing a regional approach, and as evidence of that, we've got Judge Vera here with us today to talk to us about the importance of the census. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, and good morning. First of all, Judge, thank you so much for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to come down to the Valley or to Hidalgo County. I guess as the mayor, Judge, the judge mentioned, we're in the same boat. You know, we need to be counted. It's certainly one of the most important projects that we have going right now is the census, mainly because of dollars that we're losing out, not coming into our community, and also because we might be able to get more representation in Washington if we can show that we have the numbers. And pretty much everything the judge said applies to STAR, but I think that even at a more important or a bigger situation because of our poverty, Hidalgo has 35%. We venture to say that we have closer to 50% in poverty. So every dollar that we lose in Stark County is a tremendous loss for us. We don't have the tax base that other places have, you know, but little by little we're making strides. We're coming along, and that in essence or also is thanks to Hidalgo County. You all have been great neighbors. You know, I tell people that one of the first things I did when I became judge, we changed from workforce from Webb County to Hidalgo County. And I think that's one of the best things we've done. Our unemployment dropped from around a 35–40% to single digit right now because our people want to come work in Hidalgo. They did not want to go work in Webb. So I think we're your little son or child or whatever. So we certainly appreciate all that you do for us. But the census is very important. And I know our families intermix between Hidalgo and Star. So I know you all have a lot of family in Star. You know, I would sincerely appreciate it if you all would talk to them and tell them the importance. We do have the 26th of this month, Anna, I saw her just a little while ago, Leonard, we have a training session that hopefully will do some of this where we're going to get all our players together, and she's going to give a 3-hour training on the census. What is it that we have to do? We also have the problem about our people not opening the doors. So I encourage our people in Stark County to apply for jobs with a census. We need you all to knock on those doors. We also plan to have a phone bank where people can call in and we'll help them be counted. We're thinking of a lot of things to do because 10 years ago we were terribly undercounted. To give you an example, City of Roma showed that we had less population 10 years ago than we did 10 years prior. Yet in that same time, we built 2 elementaries and 1 middle school in Roma. So how could that be? But again, a lot of that is our fault. I think we just didn't do what we had to do. But this year we're committed to do it, and hopefully with you all's help, we will be able to do it. Again, Judge, thank you so much for the invite.
And thank you, Judge, for your partnership. The United We Count campaign, Unidos Contamos, is composed of subcommittees. We've got business representatives, media representatives, community organization representatives, our education partners, as you can see represented up here, and of course, our government officials, our municipalities, our federal government, our state government legislators have been a part of this effort. Next, we will hear from some of the chairmen from some of those subcommittees. We have Ms. Teresa Flores talking about education.
The most underserved and underfunded, Head Start. And it is evident as we submit application upon application for funding, we have not increased the numbers that we serve since 2013, when we got 120 slots. Funding has been flat, despite the fact that the number of children in our county have gone unserved, approximately 16,000. To me, when you have a 3 or a 4-year-old child that doesn't get into the classrooms, it's very, very difficult for them to catch up later on. We partner with the school districts, and they've come to our rescue, and so we make it in our program because of those partnerships. All of our children are dual enrolled with the school districts, and that helps us in our funds because we do not get additional funds. Yet we have had to have all kinds of mandates to be able to do what we do. But most importantly, we're focused on breaking the cycle of poverty and illiteracy. That doesn't happen if children don't get to school. Our biggest challenge this year was that our parents would not participate in our activities because they were afraid to be picked up. We serve everybody. We do not hold anybody without, we do not ask where they were born. So for us to be able to meet the challenge of our community, to reach all those children that need to be reached, we need partners to help us reach those parents. I can reach 3,690, but there's 16,000 out there that are not being reached. The counts went down on the number of children under 5 years old by 4.5%. How is that? That's not what we see in our communities. We're lacking of transportation. We're lacking of new buildings. And like I said, thanks to the school systems, we're moving into their buildings and they're helping us out. But as a program, we do not have new facilities. We haven't had any. I've been with the program for 15 years. We haven't had one new facility built. We cannot do that by local funds, especially when we have federal kinds of impacts from immigrants. And we do need to be able to get to reach those parents. Helping them understand not to be afraid to make a report is very hard. We see it every day. So I'm asking, like we ask all our partners in the school systems, to help us reach those parents, to have some level of trust. We have daily contact with our parents. We're in a very good position to establish that trust, yet we're not as successful as we would like to be. And so we encourage every opportunity that anybody has to get parents convinced that it's okay to fill that paper in there and to be counted. We need the funds, we have the children, and we need every help we can get. Thank you.
And thank you for your partnership, Ms. Flores. It is very important that we all emphasize the Census Bureau's responsibility is to count everybody that resides in the United States, regardless of citizenship status, and that's a message that we need to continue to repeat. Next, we're going to have Ms. Christina Hull from the Equal Voice Network.
Good morning. One of the things that's the most exciting to me about Hidalgo County is how much it values community. We see this in the legacy of organizations here like Proyecto Azteca, Lupe, like Arise, and the numerous other community organizations that have been standing up for decades to make sure that their communities are heard. And right now what the community is asking is for the collaboration and the cooperation of all the other nonprofits in the region to help make sure that we are counted in this census. This census, we are going to see some of the biggest challenges for our region. Our region is one of the hardest to count regions in the country, but we've seen incredible leadership from Hidalgo County. And I think that that's also one of the things that makes this region historically exceptional, is that we not only have partners like the nonprofit organizations here that are standing up for our community, but we also have civic leaders that are standing up for our community to make sure that we are getting counted. Like Erica said, one of the things that is so critical about the census is that it's also a poetic moment in our country. It's a moment when we are standing up for the largest peacetime civic engagement event in our nation that only happens every 10 years, to say we will be counted. We will, in Hidalgo County, at a moment when the rest of the nation is not listening to us, is not listening to our voice, we will in 2020 have our voices heard. we will have the voices of every single individual here be counted. At the minimum, we will say these are the people who are here right now. These are the resources we deserve, and this is the representation that we deserve. And this is a critical moment of choice. We are here 1 year out. We have 1 year. So much can happen in this time. And so right now we are asking everyone, we are asking our media partners, and we are so happy to see our media partners here. We are asking our nonprofit leaders, we are asking our education partners, we are asking our faith leaders to say now is the time for all hands to be on deck. Because we need those community leaders to be the ones that are going door to door so that we have the proper community translation, so that we have the proper cultural connections. So we need help in getting those words out. And we also need your help in helping to make sure that people feel safe in responding to these questions, because that is another thing that we are encountering right now that is making our community very vulnerable, is whether or not people feel safe responding. So we thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And we look forward to seeing you on the journey in the next 12 months as we embark on this together and we come together as a community for this really important issue.
Yo!
Thank you very much, Christina. Martita? Martita with Lupe.
Buenos días. Soy Marta Sánchez, trabajo con la Unión del Pueblo Entero. También somos parte de Voces Unidas, de esta red de diferentes organizaciones no lucrativas. Y estoy aquí esta mañana porque también nosotros tenemos nuestra parte en este tema de contarnos. Nosotros somos el puente entre las comunidades rurales que llamamos colonias y el gobierno que quiere contarnos. Sabemos qué importante es. Necesitamos esos fondos porque todos los días, día a día, vemos las necesidades de tener más luz pública en colonias. No tenemos dinero para la infraestructura, para los postes. Necesitamos más dinero para mejorar las calles de las colonias. Necesitamos más dinero para tener más parques, para que la gente de las colonias tenga parques y tenga una vida más saludable. Todos eso lo vemos cada día. Pero también las comunidades saben que pueden contar con nosotros, que saben que somos sus amigos, que pueden tenernos confianza y que nosotros nunca les diríamos que sean contados si es un riesgo para ellos. Por eso nuestras organizaciones de base son tan importantes en esta lucha de poder contarnos. Por eso estamos aquí, para comprometernos, para trabajar juntos, para calmar los miedos, para hacer un puente, para tener respuestas a estas preguntas que la comunidad va a tener. ¿Debemos contarnos? ¿Podemos contarnos? Y nuestra respuesta es sí, todos contamos. Tal vez en otras ocasiones y con este gobierno quieren que seamos invisibles, pero en esta ocasión todos contamos y unidos vamos a contar porque necesitamos los fondos, necesitamos la representación y necesitamos ser unas personas que existen en este país. Así es que nuestro mensaje, nuestro compromiso como organizaciones no lucrativas, como organizaciones de base, es que vamos a trabajar juntos. Vamos a trabajar junto con estas otras entidades para asegurarnos que cada persona, desde la cuna hasta la tercera edad, todos contemos en el 2020. Así es que se puede o no se puede, nosotros decimos sí se puede, que todos unidos contemos. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Martita. Y tengo que compartirles Equal Voice, Lupe, Proyecto Azteca, Arise, desde el principio se acercaron al condado y nos pidieron ayuda. The Equal Voice Network, the organizations under them, Lupe, Arise, Proyecto Azteca, they've been our partners from the beginning, and you can see it in the passion that they've expressed today. So we're excited about the next year. I'm now going to turn it over to our business sector chairman, Mr. Sergio Contreras.
Good morning, everyone. Judge Vera, Judge Cortez, thank you for your leadership, your respective Commissioners Court. Thank you for engaging in this process and bringing us all to the table and ensuring that we get all counted. To our mayors, I see several mayors here. Please raise your hand. Thank you so much also for engaging in this process. As we all understand, data drives a lot of economic development. In fact, our very own McAllen EDC, they hired an economic data-driven specialist. Thank you, Keith, for that. We have UTRGV, who has a center for economic development and also providing data. In fact, we're securing data through them as well. Many of us utilize that team to ensure that we have data. And that is why it is critically important that each and every one of your organizations, all that have been mentioned, also business owners and corporate America, engage in this process here in our communities. Let me briefly mention some of the data that is driven from the U.S. Census, which are produced either monthly, quarterly, yearly, even 5-year basis. From manufacturing and trade inventories and sales to construction spending, to advanced monthly sales for retail and food services, also rental vacancy rates, also home ownership rate, all this being critical for the investment in our communities. And that's only to name a few that are of the different reports that are driven because of our participation. Census numbers also provide business owners a sense of the economic health of a region. They also measure a specific industry in a region, which then positively or will drive economic investment if the numbers and participations are there. Entrepreneurs and business owners utilize census data to determine also their next moves. That is why we encourage businesses to engage in the U.S. Census. We've, in the short time I've had the pleasure to work with Erica, Judge. It's a great choice. It's been great. Thank you for your leadership. We've met a couple of times already, and in fact have about 50 pledges from multiple size of businesses. Please raise your hand if you've already pledged to be part of the U.S. Census this year. I know there's some here. Thank you. With Walmart, our biggest employer here, already engaged, thank you for your leadership. Want you also to know that working with Ron Garza, there is also a second press conference this afternoon in Cameron County, where Cameron County and Willacy County are also engaging in this process. And that is why we applaud the efforts of our county judges in that leadership. And again, please remind your neighbors, your friends, family members that they are hiring. There's job opportunities. So we want to ask you to all please engage. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio, very much, and thank you for your leadership. We're very excited about the partnerships that we've been able to establish. You'll see the logos with the banners. We're very fortunate today to have a crowd that's very large, very diverse. We've got community groups. We've got our university representatives here with us, our congressmen representatives. I have my commissioners here. We've got our county judges here. And so we want to continue to grow. The message today is we've got 1 year. It's 1 year that we're going to work very hard to make sure that we provide the information that is needed and that we make resources available so that our community responds. But we are encouraging other partners out there, join us, be a part of it. United we count, unidos contamos. Thank you. Mayor Darling.
Last answer. Well, thank you. You know, when you want somebody to do a good job, or you want somebody to volunteer, looking for somebody that says, you can count on me, right? And so what I'm asking all of our residents and citizens, can we count on you to make sure that our county gets the proper fund, the fair funding that we need, that that the needs that we have are recognized, that our representatives in Washington and Austin reflect the true population that we have. So can we count on you? And the only way we can count on you to do that is to be counted. And so I'm asking all of you today, here, can we count on you to get everybody out? Can we count on you to go to your neighbor's house and say, you want to be counted? Because that's the only way we're going to be to count. So get out there and do that. We have a year to do that. Great organization. And, you know, it's, you know, take a hint from some of the candidates. Get out there and work those phones and get people to vote, get people to be counted, because that's the only way to do it, is interacting with people on an individual basis, because they're going to think everybody else does it. I can count on everybody else, but I don't have to do it. So let's go out there and count on us being counted. Thank you.
Yes, the question was, when can people start responding online to the census questionnaire? And that date is March 23rd, 2020. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your partnership and your attention. Thank you.